Hi, this is Bella Rachlin, and you're listening to the Marvel Cards Collectors Podcast.
Let me figure out what we're going to say. It's
really nice, actually, your singing.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Taylor, and welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast, brought to you by the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. They're really awesome. We're
Yes, they are, Ian. They are
really
absolutely
They
awesome.
really are awesome. You know what? We're going to carry on. This is going to
Let's
stay
keep
in.
going. I'm in it.
You can find our two groups on Facebook, details of which are, guess where they are, Norrin? Are they at the end of this podcast?
I think they are.
They are. They are. People will have to go and check them out. You've already heard his voice, but with me, as always, is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. He may be invincible, but at least he wears pants at the drive-through. It's Norrin Rad.
Hello, everybody, and not all the time.
Not all the time. Now, I was hoping you'd fess up to that.
I do. It's embarrassing.
Live on air. I've got my cable wrapped around my microphone, so apologies if people can hear that. Let me just let me move that. That's better. That's better. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm pretty tired. I won't lie to you. I've had a week.
Yeah.
I've had a week. It's been a crazy week in the real world.
The real world,
yes. And it's been a crazy week in the hobby.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to go into on air because, quite frankly, just a couple of things bummed me out this week. That's all.
Yep.
So, but with every dark side, there is a light side.
Beautiful.
I'm going to start the light side. And you haven't heard this
I haven't.
as we record, but our listeners will have already heard it. The intro from this week's artist intro, Bella Rachlin.
Oh, that's nice.
who bless her, she's lovely, and I've been wanting to get more female voices on the beginning of this podcast as opposed to all the fine creative men that have appeared.
True.
And Bella, I reached out to Bella because she joined the group on Facebook, and her artwork is just wonderful,
exquisite. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
and she's just really nice, like really nice, like lovely.
That's awesome.
Like, you just get a message from her, and you just kind of want to hug your phone.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so Bella, thank you.
Thank you, Bella.
Thank you. Bella's done some absolutely top-notch work, and if you go to any of her,
she's a top-tier artist in the hobby.
She and rightly so. I think her profile is growing. I first saw her work on Marvel Masterpieces 2018. Examples of which you can see on her Instagram feed, which I'll read out in a moment. She's recently on Marvel Premiere 2019. I can't remember off the top of my head what other sets she's been on. But
she's done older sets too. She actually did a DC set back in the day. I just saw one of her Batmans on eBay. She does a lot of good work. She's been around for a while, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah. I'm just looking at. Oh wow. Okay, I'm just looking at her Facebook. So her Facebook page is Bella Rachlin .art. I'm going to spell that because she pronounced it differently to how I'd read it. So Bella is the first name, Bella, and then Rachlin is spelled RACHLIN _art. So that's the Facebook page that Bella runs, and the kind of the top post that it's showing me is a pinned post from December 2018. Here's a fun finished commission of Lady Venom, and it's just awesome. And really quite appealing to the eye. So yeah, it's really lovely.
I have to go looking at the
Lady Venom. You've got to get that in your eyeballs as soon as you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to look now.
And she's got I'll read out her Twitter feed and her Instagram. So on Twitter, she's Bella Rachlin, at Bella Rachlin. So that's BELLARACHLIN. All these links, by the way, will be on the tasting notes, and we will also be tweeting this when the episode drops. And Instagram, she is at Bella_Rachlin. I won't spell her surname again because I've spelt it twice already.
That's very fair.
And there's a great Spider Gwen on there, and you can see some progress. Her Instagram is really cool because there's some really nice progress pieces. Where you
really?
can see the development of some of the art.
So much.
It's really, really good. Yeah, you love that. You're going to love what I'm going to send you in a minute.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
There you go.
seriously, check her art out.
Wow.
It's lovely. It's top end. She's lovely. Can't recommend her highly enough to deal with, to work. You know, I haven't had any commissions from her, but you can bet
I really do
your
want a
bottom
commission
dollar.
from her.
Yeah,
really
I do.
bad.
I do. I mean, she would do Black Cat justice and then some. I have a feeling. I've not seen a Black Cat by her. Not saying that she's not done one. I'd be very surprised if she hadn't done one, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has in some way.
Just scrolling through the Instagram feed, she's done an awful lot of.
Her X-Men and Carnage are amazing.
Yeah, I've just seen a Predator.
Yeah.
That's on the
I really like the Magic too. Her Magic is one of my favorites.
Oh wow, there's a photo of her cosplaying as Magic.
No way.
Yeah, on her Instagram feed. That's incredible. You just scroll down through it. That's. Oh, I take my hat off to you, Bella. That is extraordinary commitment.
Oh, I'm excited.
Liked by Spiderweb Art. So Greg Hildebrand has liked that picture. So you know you're doing something right when Greg likes your Instagram
Oh yeah,
post.
look at that.
Have you seen it?
That was Magic.
Check out the size of that sword out.
Oh, she has cool cosplay. Look at the thorns.
Yeah.
The headdress is really cool too, man.
Hashtag nailed it.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
That's good.
Oh, great stuff.
So
she's good, man. Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some nice stuff on there. There's a cat.
Oh shit.
Scroll down. There's a lower down. There's a cat being held by some old dude with white hair. Who's this? Let's scroll up. Well, it's a wizard commission. Apparently.
Oh, cool.
It's a wizard with a cat. Cool.
Very cool.
I like it an awful lot. So yes, I will be having a. Oh, there's a cosplay. Oh, Bella, you're nailing this one. There's a Spider Gwen cosplay further down her feed.
Oh, okay. Well,
where she's got the outfit on. That's cool. I mean, I can't pull that off, but you definitely did.
Okay, don't undersell yourself though.
No, trust me. I've tried. I've tried the skin tight lycra and the spandex.
Just didn't go.
It's not a good look for me.
Okay.
You know, I'm in my late 40s. I've got a man bod. You know, dad bod. What can you say?
I guess we can dream. I don't know.
Some people dig that. You know, not everyone's cup of tea.
We'll dig that.
Some folks do dig it. You know, what can I say? Yeah. So. Oh, dearie me. Bella, thank you. Do go check out her work. Tell her we sent you, or just say hi. She's lovely. Really, really cool stuff on her Instagram feed.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some really cool artist intros coming up. But as ever, any of you guys listening who have done official Marvel work, feel free to, even if it's on the comic book spectrum, not on the card spectrum, we'd love to have you do an intro for the podcast. It's kind of a fun thing. It's kind of a unique thing. I think. Possibly, I don't know. Probably not unique. I actually did steal it from another podcast, that idea, but who knows? So, what has been happening for you this week in terms of the hobby? Have you got anything new come in? I'm sure I saw something on one of your feeds.
Ooh.
Did I see something, or is it something from the previous week?
Might be something from previous week.
No, I know what I saw. I saw you selling some pieces. So that's why I thought, if he's selling some pieces, he must have something coming in.
Yeah, well, okay. So I sold some of my MM18 autographs.
Oh, okay.
Which I sold for a couple of reasons, but the main one is I already have the set, and I'm going to frame the set, and I have that prelim, so I'm really happy with that. And I'm really trying to push to find the rest of the MM16 plates for Surfer.
The Surfer.
And I know something's coming. I saw that Silver Surfer Danny Kong. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The Silver Surfer from Marvel Beginnings.
I think I'm not sure if it's pronounced that, but it's spelled Kuang, Kuang.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry, my friend. But
to be honest with you, I've no idea how you pronounce it. But
yeah.
I think there might be an artist called there's an artist called Brian Kong.
Brian
That's
Kong.
who I'm thinking of. Yeah, but not Danny
Both of
Kuang.
them are really good, actually.
Yeah, really good.
But the Surfer was up there, and I liked it. It's a nice piece. I mean, his work is phenomenal. The price point was so high, which is probably true because he's more on the category of a NAR type of artist in terms of detail and scope.
His work's always been up there in terms of the price point.
Yeah, I couldn't
ever
do
since it was breaking. Yeah, because I think he did some work on the MM 0708 sets.
Yeah,
because I remember that name from that far back, and it was even at the time around 07, 08, 09 when I was kind of first getting into cards as much as I do now, but certainly into sketch cards. I definitely saw his pieces going for a decent dollar, and rightly so. I mean, they're lovely.
Yeah, the great piece. I mean, Bella's work goes for similar prices. I mean, it's just like crazy high end stuff.
Yeah.
But I kept looking at it, and I don't know, I just couldn't do it. But it got picked up, even though it was at a very high price point.
Okay.
By a really cool collector who has a lot of his stuff. So I think he's more of the artist collector.
Yeah.
It's sitting somewhere nice, but I don't know why. I wanted to sell that stuff. I had the urge to sell. I wanted to have some extra cash in case something did come up that I needed, But other than that, other than the Lack Limb, which I'm happy with, and then a surprise I got coming up for the channel, which is less cards and more of original art.
Okay. Yes. We'll
we'll
yeah,
get
that's
to that.
A treat. That's the treat for people.
Yeah, but that's for right now. I'm just hanging out.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I am in the poorhouse at the moment. You know why?
So,
you know why?
Because you just like killed it.
Yep. So, so this is kind of what I wanted to talk about this week was Pack Wars. Now, for those who don't know, let's back up slightly. Actually, so Upper Deck for the last 3 years now have done a set called Marvel Annual, which has been released. I believe it's been released physically, and then it goes to ePacks as is the way.
I guess so. I'm never sure on the annual stuff, but I'm sure you're right.
No, I'm pretty sure it has.
Yeah.
Well, that actually brings me to my first thing. If anyone listening has physically bought Marvel Annual 2018 or 16, well, yes, there's 2016, there's 2017, and then the latest one is 2018/19. So it's kind of got 2 years in its title.
Yeah.
It is a set that I have started to collect inadvertently, as I have for 2017. But I'll explain why in a moment. But if anyone has wrappers for any of those sets who broke them physically, if they were indeed released physically, and I think they were, please give me a shout. If they were just a digital release, and I'm talking nonsense, also please let me know. Answers on a postcard, please. So I wanted to talk about this, and then I'll lead into what I picked up. Most of the people on the group would have seen what I picked up, but I think it's always good to share it because we do have listeners who aren't on Facebook or Instagram or even any other social media. In fact, I'm not entirely sure how they're listening to us right now. But anyway, so Marvel Annual is released on ePacks, and as is the way with a lot of these annual sets, when you buy a pack of Marvel Annual, only about I can't remember the break now, but with Marvel Annual, when you buy a pack, I think you get, well, for certainly 2016, you get 5 cards, one of which is physical. The other 4 are digital only, so they don't physically exist. So you are buying a digital item, but you can then get multiple copies of that same item and combine it to get a physical copy of that card, which is usually a parallel of some kind. Now, the reason that I think that they were released physically is that I think there are parallel colors of some of the cards that were only available if you did that combination on ePacks.
So you interesting.
get them in the packs. So in a very typical kind of business model that Upper Deck have done with previous sets, they've given the set a different kind of life and an exclusive set of cards that you couldn't get from the physical boxes, but you had to buy it through e-packs to get that. Now, it is a low price point because of the fact that you're not getting much physical product in the set, but they are pretty big sets.
Yeah.
Even so, I mean, 2018, 19, probably the most of them actually. It is a mighty set when you actually break it down. So, what Pack Wars does is it kind of gamifies further the experience of buying them. So when Marvel Annual 2018-19 dropped on e-packs, Pack Wars wasn't live, but Pack Wars is something that they've done for Marvel Annual 2017. And what happens is that you buy. It's actually a really cost-effective way of buying the set, and it makes it much more fun to open them. So what happens is, rather than buy a pack, when you go to buy. You know what? I'm going to share my screen so that you get it.
Wait, I was just about to buy one.
Yeah. No, let me share my screen because I'm going to show you how it works to play it.
Yeah.
I've got some unopened packs. So,
cool.
So bear with me. This is fascinating listening for all you people at home, but I'm going to share my screen with my good buddy Norrin.
Hello.
Okay. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
I do now. Yes.
Lovely stuff. Right. So I'm on e-packs now. I will still describe it for those at home, but it will make it slightly easier to describe it to Norrin. So when you buy, if I go to the store, come on, internet. There we go. Right. Scroll down. So you've got Marvel Annual there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go for a pack there, you'll see it's $3.99 for a pack. Okay.
Yes.
So that's a single pack. And in a single pack, you get 5 digital base set cards. Sorry, it's good. Here we go. Hobby and then Pack Wars. It's opened up a thing with 2. Anyway, when you open Pack Wars, you get for $4.99. So only $1 more.
$1 more.
You get 5 packs.
Whoa.
So let's just think about that. You get 5 packs in a bundle. So it's a 5-pack bundle basically, and it's $4.99. As opposed to $3.99 for just buying a pack of Marvel Annual outright. So already, it's better value.
Yeah, no kidding.
But in none of those 5 packs of 5 cards, so you get 25 cards there, they're all digital. The trick is that you then play a game with them. Okay. And it's kind of like, well, in the UK we have a thing called Top Trumps, where you have cards with stats, and they could be cards about anything. They could be cards about cars, they could be cards about fighter jets, they could be cards about sports people, or they could be cards about superheroes. And on the back it'll have strength is this, durability is this, top speed is this, years in service, and basically you're having a stat off. Did I just hear your cat meow?
My cat's insane. Okay, so you're having a stats off in terms of the character strength and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Very
exactly
cool.
what Pack Wars is. So what happens is when you open your pack, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now, my friend. So let me go to open my packs if I can. So I can navigate e-packs perfectly well on my mobile device, but as soon as I go to a desktop, I'm like fumbling around like anything. So I've got it there.
Yes.
So you can see that. So if I when you go to open your packs, instead of open pack, it says go to Pack Wars. When you go into that, you go into a different environment.
Wow.
Within the e-packs website, and it's got kind of a planet there, and it looks. Oh, this is interesting. I've not actually looked at this at all on desktop. The chat is showing there. There's a this is actually much more
interactive.
Well, it does. It looks nicer because although it works perfectly fine on for a mobile browser, when you look at it, you have to scroll to the right to see different elements of things. So to see the win-loss stuff, to see the chat feed, to see the leaderboards, as it were, because it is a scored competition. So,
Right.
and that's the key thing about it is it is a competition based thing. So for
Very cool.
every week that it's been running, for anyone in the top 100, who's won the most battles within that week, there are cards that are given out. They're numbered physical cards, 1 to 100, and one gets added to your account if you're in that
Whoa.
top 100 for that week. So straight
Really?
away, yeah, that's a pretty nice thing. And I didn't even realize. I just had one. The first week was Captain Marvel, and the second week was a character called Amadeus Cho, who I don't actually know. And you can see there. So there's the lobby. I can play against the CPU, which is basically the system.
Right.
I'm playing chess against the computer, and you can see a user's just popped up there. It's actually someone in our group. Now you see the numbers there. The first number is your wins, and the second number is your loss. So that's this user. I'm not going to read out this user's name, but that's that user. And then you can see up there my win-loss ratio.
Yeah.
So mine's 47 to 55. Now that's because the first kind of maybe 10 goes at this I didn't have a clue what was going on. So it's actually quite difficult to pick up, and the instructions I don't think are very good. So once I'd figured it out, once you get it, it is literally like turning on a light. I'm now completely and utterly like, right. So
let's do it.
Show you. And this is going to move pretty quick, so I'm going to try and keep up because there is a time limit to one aspect of what I'm about to do.
Okay.
So when I click here, okay, I've got 13 packs. You can see that there. So if I click on CPU opponent, and by the way, anyone who's in this lobby area, I can click on, and if they're not currently battling, it describes it as, then you can challenge them to a game instead of the computer.
Oh, fascinating.
So you can play against other repacked users. So if I just want to play against the CPU for the purposes of this, and I'll probably have my arse handed to me, which explains my win-loss ratio, because obviously it is a rigged deck.
Right.
I mean, there is an element of chance to it. I can't believe it's completely. I'm absolutely certain that is the case. Just because I'm a bad loser. So you can see. So what happens is it opens my 5 cards. So this is like being dealt a hand in poker.
Okay.
You see the visuals there?
Yes, I'm looking at
it. So it lays them out, and what it'll do now. Oh, this is drag selected card here. Okay, right. I've got to zoom in a bit here. So I've got this is actually much better on a browser. I've got a minute to choose, and you can see that yellow line going down. So I've got most recent character debut, highest fighting rating, and lowest strength rating.
The old woman, September is 2016.
Well, let's look at but often September 2016. But she's also my most recent, my lowest strength. But I'm going to drag most recent character debut up there, so that's there because I've got another character that says highest fighting rating. I'm going to go with that one. I've got to move quick now, and then right. So there we go. So you can see it's counting down. It gives me a minute to select.
Okay.
So I've selected most recent character debut, highest fighting rating, lowest strength rating, and then it will draw 3 cards from the opponent. And you can see my cards at the bottom just knocked off the one at the top, so I won that one. The middle one, the computer's won, and that's a tie break. So we've won 1 each, and that was a tie break. So it will come up tiebreaker now. It moves pretty quick, but this is high speed rating. So quickly scanning along. They're all really low. I've got 3 2s and 2 3s, and they go up to 7, by the way, on this scale.
Yikes. So
it's highly likely I'm going to lose this one. So I'm just going to drag up here and confirm. I think I'm going to lose this round. And I can tell straight away. 7. Yeah.
7. Come on.
So, and what it will come up with is, and you basically, it's a best of 3 situation. So you were defeated 1 to 2 by CPU opponent, return to lobby. If I had a penny for the number of times I've read that,
you made all your money back from
exactly. Now, but the interesting thing is, those 5 digital cards, as soon as I open them, are added to my collection on ePacks.
Oh, interesting.
So I get those, but if I'd won the round, I'd get a physical card added to my collection as well. Yeah, those physical cards can be short print cards. They can be gold parallels, which aren't physical, but you can combine 5 of those to get something else. You can get comic cover cards. You can get In Memoriam. You can get Rookie Heroes. I think at least one of these is exclusive to Pack Wars. And you can get printing plates, and printing plates are exclusive to Pack Wars. So you can only get the printing plates for Marvel Annual 2018-19 through Pack Wars. Now, the interesting thing about Pack Wars is that it's just another way to distribute and sell the cards, but it adds a fun element to it. But it is pretty good value. Plus, you get the fun aspect of playing the game.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, and obviously, you get the weekly achievements for being in the top 100 kind of scores. Plus, the people in the top 10 get a sketch alongside that.
Oh, and is that the Mitch Ballard?
No, not in this time. Last year, Marvel Annual 2017, when they did Pack Wars, it was Mitch Ballard. This year, I think it's 2 artists I've seen, because Mitch is doing the Marvel Weekly sketch achievements as we speak. So I'm going to do another game with you now, and I should probably screen record this, but it's on my computer, so I can't do that. Or it might record on the video, actually, so we might be able to actually isolate this segment. Who knows? You never know, because we do record video on these podcasts, even though we look ghastly most of the time. So I'm going to go back here.
I think we look great.
I look ghastly. You know,
oh, shush.
Suave and debonair. I have to say, I prefer playing it on my mobile browser.
Oh, really? It looks really fun.
Yeah, it's just easy to see. When I go into that bit, you don't have to click and drag on that. You just touch,
and that's
the one that you want, and that's it. So we're gonna have another go. So I've lost one of the ones that I've played with you so far. Let's see if I can even up the score. So 5 cards being dealt to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do get to kind of play the odds a little bit. So oldest character debut. If you get Captain America, you're onto a winner. I know that from experience.
1963 Iron Man.
Yeah, 1963 Iron Man. So he's going there. Okay. Lowest fighting rating. I've got a 2 there.
You do.
For a character, so I'm going to drag that in there. Lowest intelligence rating. And this is the trick. My lowest intelligence was actually that guy there.
Oh, I see.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him there.
Oh, so it lets you do
someone
that.
else. Yeah, I've got someone else there with fighting. And that's lowest fighting. You see, this is where you have to make a choice. See, I've got 2 4s on the fighting, but one of them was a 2 on intelligence, and it needs.
Yeah, so that would be the better choice.
So that is called playing the odds. And once you get used to that, you can see. And once the game starts, it moves pretty quick. So I've won the oldest character debut, Iron Man. I've just been beaten on the lowest fighting. And I've got a tiebreaker on lowest intelligence. So it will now let us select one more card to break
lowest
that tie.
Card number.
Lowest card number. And it is so
3.
3.
Wow.
So I should
win this one.
Win this. You say that, but I've put a 99 for highest card before and been beaten by card 100.
What?
I have won this.
You got it.
Yeah, there we go. So what will I win? Let's have a look. Let's see. There we go. I've no idea what that is.
Wow, that's nice. Pretty. She's one of the new characters from MP19.
Ah, okay.
Voyager?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the main e-pack system and look at my collection, because I find myself having to do that. So let's how do I get out of this chicken? I can't swear. Because
so you probably go there and go to my collection.
I can do, yes. Well, I want to see what that cup is. View Pack Wars leaderboards and your win-loss history. So let's click on this. So there's the leaderboard.
Oh.
So you can see my history of wins and losses. And you can see what I've won there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, some of them are good, some of them bad. I woke up early and I just played some while I was waiting for the famille to wake up. And I had a really good day the other day, and I won loads, and then I didn't buy any all week, and I just bought some this morning because I was like, you know what, I just need to get something going on.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the leaderboard.
People are really into this.
Yeah, well, that's 2017 Marvel Annual. Okay. So when you go into leaderboards, it is one criticism of it. It lumps all the sets. So if you That's just on 2017.
Right, because you
But
only
I
did the one
only
pack.
grabbed one pack of 2017.
Right.
So if I scroll down, you've got 2018-19 MVP hockey. So they do it across different.
Yeah, and you can minimize it by clicking the arrows where it says wins, right?
You can. So it works in exactly the same way
as the collection stuff.
Actually, no. What that does is it just shows you.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it just opens up more than top 5. So if I scroll down here, so Marvel Annual all time, you can see some of these guys. And these are very familiar names to me, to people who have got huge collections on e-packs. So I'm in there. At the moment, I'm 53rd place. 53rd
Pretty
place.
Good, man.
52nd loser. So that's okay. And then events. That's the weekly one. Events. So that's the weekly period that shows you who's currently winning. So I'm currently 14th in this week, and as long as I stay in the hot 100, I'll get that card.
Wow.
But there's not so many people playing it. That's the thing.
So you're able to get in there.
Yeah. So one of the only main reasons why I was kind of doing it this week, and I've spent literally $20 on 4 packs and 4 bundles rather, and that will give me 5 packs apiece. So it actually gives me at least 20 games.
Wow.
So actually, getting into that top 100 isn't as difficult as you'd think.
Well, how about
getting that top 100 card? And this is the awards thing. So leaderboard awards, view awards, and this week it'll be a Miles Morales 2018-19 Marvel Annual Pack Walls Character Achievement Card PW3. But they've kind of put a weekly thing into it as well.
That's kind of
cool.
So
it's keeping you coming back. So if your focus is to just play the game and you want to chance it and see if you can pick up, and I don't think you can get sketches in the wins, but you can certainly get plates. You can get patch cards as well, which is how I got into Marvel Annual in the first place. But whilst you're doing all this, I can see you're in there. Oh, you bought a pack.
You want to go? I was just about to say it.
Right, let's rumble. Let's rumble, baby. Right, let's click. Okay. Let's click here.
So what do I click on? Bailey?
I don't know. Belay. That's
Belay. Whoops.
What do I do? I don't know. What do I click? Unfriend, block, profile, message user, battle ready. Are you battle ready? It's not coming up as battle ready.
Probably not.
You've bought a pack, haven't you? Yeah.
I've bought packs, but okay. Oh, I see. I picked my pack. Nope. Auto challenge off. Win-win. Battle ready. Oh, it says you're not battle ready. We have friends.
Oh. How'd you be battle ready? I want to be beach body ready, but that's another story altogether.
That's very fair. Very, very fair.
I've no idea. It probably explains why I've never played against an actual human.
See, I have no idea.
So I've got no idea what's going on right now. So yeah, welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast, folks. Here is blindly stumble around. Actually, no, I click here. Right, there you go. I can see your pack there. You can see on my screen.
Yes.
So you see the Marvel Annual Pack there. So you can see. So this tile represents you. And if you had like one of the other products, like Marvel Annual 2017 or MVP. Yeah, see that pack has now disappeared. I don't know what you've done with it, but whatever you just did.
See. How about
there we go. So if I click there.
So what you do now is click your Marvel Annual number 11 thing. That's up the top. So click that. There you go. And now I'll click you. And now we should start getting into it.
I hope so. Otherwise, it'll be terrible listening for the people at home.
It's working on my stuff.
Well, my screen hasn't done anything yet, so
mine's loading.
Mine isn't. What am I doing?
You just clicked it off. Go back and click Marvel Annual. Okay. Stay there. Perfect.
Okay. What's happening now? My screen hasn't changed.
So click the Marvel arrow there.
Oh, you have a challenge. Right, it appears down there.
I'm looking for my challenge.
What do I want to do? You have challenged F Barrier to battle. So I'm waiting for you actually, and the countdown has just expired. And right, so I'm going to challenge you again.
Okay.
And on your screen, bottom left-hand side under challenges, you'll have Marvel has appeared with an arrow. It gives me a 50-second. It gives you a 50-second countdown to accept my challenge, dear.
It is loading. Let me see. Okay. Your challenge. All right. So go ahead and cancel that, and I will edit this out. So don't worry. It'll look like we figured this out in a heartbeat.
No, leave it in.
Okay. There you go.
Has challenged you. There we go. All right. Let's click that. Oh, what just happened? Oh, accept.
So,
there
accept.
we go. Right.
All
Here
right.
we go.
We're joining the game. Here we
Right.
go.
Are we? Yes, we're in there. Right.
Oh.
And now this is unfair because you can see my cards.
Well, I have my screen covering you.
Okay, that's
I
good.
won't
That's
cheat.
good. That's good.
That's a
Like
nice
seeing my
card,
hand
Ian.
in poker. Yeah, thanks for that. Right, what we got? Most recent character debut. Lowest intelligence rating. Oh, I love that one. High strength rating. There we go. Right, so I've done mine. I'm just going to click confirm. Now, bear in mind, I have played this a lot more than you, so it gives you a minute to select, by the way.
All right.
So
I just did mine as well. Okay, cool.
So
First time, man. Here we go.
And then I think it just plays it out. Let's watch.
Yeah, we're watching.
So I've beaten you on
got
most
me on the
recent.
first round.
Intelligence is a tie, so that'll
Tie,
drop
baby.
through. And I've beaten you on strength, so 2 of the 3 to
Winner.
me. There we go.
Yep.
What did they get? What did they get? Let's have a look.
And
I've got a comic covers one. There's 40 comic covers in Marvel 2018-19. So return to lobby. There we go.
Nice.
Do you want to go again?
Hell yeah.
Let's do one more and then we'll move on. Because
fine.
without the visuals, it's probably not the most exciting.
There you go. Now we got
there
this.
we go. Oh, you're in there straight away. You've got a faster connection.
Yes, I'm starting to figure it out.
Well, to be fair, I had to click the button that says you're a winner. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Here we go.
Got some cool cards.
Yeah, thanks for that. Right, what we got here? Most recent character debut. Right, I won't lie to you. I think you're going to cream me on this one.
I don't know. Mine are pretty low too.
No. When you see my most recent character debut, it's 1981.
Okay, I got that one.
I all had 60s ones. So we've even done fighting.
Oh,
and intelligence is even. No, you've still won. Because if there's 2 ties, you had the winning card. So yeah, there you go. What did you get?
I got Secret of Wars. I got Karnak from Inhumans.
Have you got a comic cover, you mean?
I don't think it's a comic cover. I can't tell. Give me 2 seconds.
But that's the thing. Yeah, for a lot of them, unless you know visually what it looks like, you have to go to your collection to actually see what's going on with it.
Yeah. Let's do one more, and then I'll go to my collection and show you.
Okay. All right. We'll have one more, and then we'll move on because I wanted to talk about the rest of the.
We have to talk. We can't do this all the time on.
We can't do this all the time. No.
Gosh.
Right. What am I? There we go. Accept. Right. I will break you.
No.
You're 1-all on the win-loss ratio, so you're doing okay. To be fair, a lot of people are. It seems to be because it is very difficult unless you have multiple user IDs, which I think some people do. They play themselves.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, then they win everything. How they do it quickly enough, I don't know. Lowest intelligence. Oh, that'll be me. See, some of them are actually quite difficult. Lowest fighting rating, for example, they're superheroes, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
so of course they're going to be.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah. Okay. I think you're going to win this one.
I think I got this one.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen your cards. Oh, I love that.
So
that's cool.
Fighting. There we go. Lowest intelligence. That's a draw. Okay. So we're 1-all. So we're going to have a tiebreaker.
Nice.
And this is lowest speed rating.
Lowest speed rating.
So yeah. Okay. Confirm.
What's yours?
It's an even. Yeah. Now I know from experience that there's only a few 1s in the thing. Right. Highest card number. Oh my goody aunt. Okay. There we go. And this is purely odds on this one.
Let's see.
I think you'll win this.
I think maybe you'll win. Damn!
Oh my goodness!
Not
I
by
had
much, but you
73,
did
so
it.
I thought, yeah, and you had 68 on that one. So what have I won?
Very cool. Congrats.
But there you go. It's another comic cover, and most of the wins I found are those comic cover cards.
Oh, cool.
Which are pretty good comic cover cards. I wouldn't say that they're up there with the Marvel Beginnings ones, but then I haven't seen them in the flesh. I've only seen that tiny digital on-screen thing. So let me just go to my collection, and I can show you a couple of interesting things about. But it's quite a nice. It's a nice way to pass the time.
I think it's really cool.
It is. Right. Let me go most recent added to my collection. And here we go. So you can see there the tick in when you look at e-packs, for those who are not familiar with it, you have kind of a grid of the cards you've got. And one of the columns has got a tick in it, and that indicates that it's a physical card, because that is, when I hover over it, it says can be transferred, and what that means is it can be transferred to be shipped to you. So when you scroll down here, you've got the other columns that say how many copies of that card you own.
Okay.
So, for example, card number 10 there, Carol Danvers, I've now got 9 copies of the digital version.
Oh, wow.
If I go to columns over, it says I need one more to combine. Now, if I get one more Carol Danvers card 10, I can hit the combine button and I can swap those 10 digital cards for one color wheel physical card parallel.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
And the beauty of it is that it doesn't bloat your collection by doing that, because as soon as you redeem them, those digital cards disappear from your collection.
And that's it.
Yeah. So you don't end up with 10 cards in your collection that say that they're redeemed cards, which some sets do. So, and I've already found that I think I've got about 5 or 6 color wheel parallels just from playing it for like 3 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Just because you end up, because you break the cards and you're not keeping track of it, and all of a sudden you go back, look, I've got another one there. I've got one more to get. Final host, whoever that is.
Final host.
So yeah, there's a lot. Oh, we've got one here. Black Panther. There we go. Let's do it. I've got 10 Black Panthers. So let's go to this.
Combine.
So if I click that, it should open. There you go. Combine 10 items. Do you wish to combine it? Are you sure? Yes. There you go. Color wheel parallel. And you'll see Black Panther has disappeared. So I no longer own, in the base set 1 to 100 digital cards, Black Panther.
Fascinating.
Because it's moved to color wheel. So there we go. I've got color wheels here. Look, from this morning. It's crazy. So what I'm going to do now is just generally talk about the set, and then I'll go on to talk about my plates that I got. So obviously this broke maybe 3 weeks ago. This started now, Marvel Annual. And there's a number of achievements that you can get. So if you're still looking at my screen, I wanted to show you the checklist.
I am.
So it's a pretty decent, so that you've got the base set there, Marvel Annual base set, and on e-packs, that's digital. So you can see there's the 1 to 100. So that's what you play with, and you can see all the ones that are ticked there.
Wow.
So I've already redeemed an entire full base set. Because when you get a base set, you can redeem one of each for the base of the base set for an achievement, and it's called Happy Birthday Achievement 1. Okay, no idea what it's called that. And bizarrely enough, it's of a character called Blade.
Okay,
which doesn't kind of work in the birthday setting. Strange, I don't know. But so that's what you get for that. But the redeemed ones that I get for doing that one, I can still combine towards my color wheel parallel.
Oh, fascinating.
Which is interesting. So you can kind of do it both ways. So that's how you get Happy Birthday 1. I'll come back to the Happy Birthday achievements in a moment. So you got Marvel Annual Base Set SP. So cards 101 to 150 are SPs, and they're physical.
Wow.
So they're actually quite a tough pull. I don't think I've even got any of those through Pack Wars. I think you can win them from Pack Wars, but I can't remember if I got them. I may have got some and traded them out.
Oh, interesting.
Because as you can see there, the only one that's ticked is Black Cat.
Right, that makes sense.
Which I'll come back to. So I've got 2 of her locked away. But I want 10 of her because I want to be able to get the color wheel parallel.
Oh, because that's what you needed in order to achieve that.
And the color wheel, and I want that for my Black Cat Rainbow, so I'll come back to that. So color wheel parallel, if I tick that, you can already see I've got a few of them.
Wow.
About 6.
You
And
really
that's literally just from combining.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's just from combining.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's just from combining the digital cards I get from playing the game. So just from playing the game, you suddenly find yourself looking at it, and it will give you the option to combine stuff. Yeah, I've got Black Panther there. Look.
I love that. That's really cool.
So it's pretty cool. So it's that's why I say I think it's pretty good value for money.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, can you hear pinging on my end, or are you losing the camera to me? Because we've got this local neighborhood Facebook group, and when they start chatting away, it just pings relentlessly.
No, I can't hear anything.
No, that's good. That's good. Anyway, so there you go. You've got the color wheel parallel SP, and then you've got blue parallel, which I have gotten as part of the wins.
Oh wow, really?
In Pack Wars. And I'm not sure what the odds are on those. I've got 4 of them so far. I'm not that fussed about those because that's only on cards 1 to 100.
Oh, okay.
So that's a physical card of 1 to 100. So you'll see there that the short print 101 to 150, where Black Cat is, there's actually only the base set and the color wheel parallel. But none of the other color parallels apply to the short print high numbered. They're just on the 1 to 100 cards.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah, that really is.
So you've got red parallels, gold parallels. Gold parallels are digital on e-packs, and you combine 5 of them. I'm not sure what you get when you combine 5 of them. I think you might be able to get the red parallel, which I think is a physical card. So I think the golds are a digital stepping stone to a really hard to get achievement, redemption.
Wow.
So it's it's pretty tough just from that.
Yeah, it is really tough just from that alone.
It is just from that alone. So then we go down to the other ones. So you've got comic covers, the 40, and I've won some of them. And you can see I've got a fair few of those. I've actually traded a lot of these out, but I've now decided I'm going to stop doing that because they're the most common win from Pack Wars. So we've talked before about getting a really nice collection of comic cover cards from various sets.
Yes,
so
we have.
I'm going for it. I'm just gonna get these. So Marvel Annual is one of these interesting sets, in that there are elements of it you can collect without needing to collect the whole thing. So I'm not massive. I'll be honest with you. I'm not massively sold on the design and the art of the base cards.
Yeah. Well, because they're pulled from comic books.
Yeah, exactly. But the Black Cat SP,
I think the Black Cat looks good, though.
Is actually a really good one. They've really chosen well, and some of them are really good. So I think it just depends on how they've chosen it, how they've framed it. The comic covers, they are what they are. I think the borders are a bit big on these ones for me personally.
I like the holofoil title, though. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. You can get silver parallels of the comic covers by combining 10 of a comic cover card.
Oh wow!
But you can see by the ratio of how many comic covers were coming up, you'd be playing quite a lot to get to that point.
I would think so. Well, I mean, it's crazy.
You wouldn't get there as easily as you would the color wheels.
Right.
But even so, there's 100 in that set. So even the color wheel parallel is quite a tough one to put together. Then you've got In Memoriam, which pops up. There's only 5 of those. Then you've got silver parallel of them, which is
you got a Thanos on that.
10 of them. Yeah, I have. I'll share that in a minute. Then you've got Rookie Heroes. I've got 3 of those. And that's that Voyager one that I won just now.
Oh, the Voyager. Yeah, see, I knew that her name was Voyager.
You got Cosmic Ghost Rider in there. You got Rookie Heroes Silver Parallel. Then you've got Top 10 Fights. I don't think they're in Pack Wars. I think they come up through buying the product.
Oh, interesting.
So that's that. I haven't seen those on Pack Wars. And then you've got Top 10 Heroes. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, etc. You've got top 10 issues. You see, there's a lot of top 10 stuff, and it's all based around what happened in Marvel Comics through that year.
Right.
And they've done it on previous Marvel annual sets as well.
Yes, I thought I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like them. I think that's
so
really
it's
cool.
Quite a nice. So you could actually build up quite a nice set of just collecting some of the top 10 things, even though it's 10 and it's 10, so it doesn't fit in a 9-card binder.
Which bothers the hell out of me,
Which
but
bothers
it's
me
top
relentlessly.
10.
But it is top 10. So, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I kind of get it.
But there you go. I mean, you can go down through it. You got top 10 story arcs, top 10 villains. One of these I have got all 10 of because someone traded me something. Yeah, and they gave me 10. They gave me the full set. So I've actually got top 10 villains.
So cool.
I've got all of them, and I haven't locked them, but I'm going to because generally speaking, I always say to people if it's unlocked, it's available. But with Pack Wars, I haven't been doing that because I haven't been deciding what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
Then you've got comic patches, which you can win.
That's cool.
On Pack Wars.
I saw some people in our group saying they have won some.
Yeah. Now, patches is what I've been collecting from all 3 Marvel annual sets. So I've been doing that for a couple of months now. And I'm actually getting pretty close. So you can see on here for 20, there's 14 regular patches, single character ones. And I've got all but 4 of them.
Whoa.
And then you've got SP ones. There's 9 of them in this set. I've got 4 of those. And all these I've traded for. Then you've got comic patch achievements. So I think this is the first. Actually, no, I think they did it in 2017, where you get achievements if you collect and redeem all of the patches. You still keep the physical card, but it just redeems and you get some extras.
Good, yeah, because I know most people are always worried about that.
Exactly. Yeah, the only time I've seen redeemed cards disappear was on Marvel Annual, the digital cards that you redeem for the color wheel. You don't lose, as far as I'm aware, you don't lose any physical cards if you redeem them on the EPAC system. You still get to have those.
That's pretty cool.
Then you've got dual comic patches. And you can see I've got a fair few of those. There's 14 of those. Then again, there's 9 short print there. We've got one of those, and then there's an achievement.
Yeah. They got good character lists. Man.
Yeah, they have. You have. And I think some of them are a bit gimmicky. Some of the characters, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Marvel's current roster of new characters is always the strongest.
Yeah.
So some of these probably, aren't quite my cup of rosy Lee. Then you've got sketch cards here.
Yeah.
You've got sketch card achievements, puzzle sketch achievements.
You can't win sketch cards though through Pack Wars, can you?
Well, here you can. Pack Wars sketch card achievements. So these are the ones.
Oh.
There we go. Erwin Roper and JP Perez are the 2 artists.
Wow.
On Pack Wars sketch card achievements. And then you've got other artists there on the puzzle sketch achievements. So I think the Pack Wars one only comes with Pack Wars, and then the other ones come up when you're, I think when you're just buying regular stuff. I'm not sure what you have to combine for them. But again, I actually think it does give me a little bit of Forrest Whitaker squint when I look at how complicated it is to get some of the achievements.
It's pretty pretty complicated.
And you do need a proper flow chart on some of them. So that I guess that would be my one criticism of Upper Deck. They make it a little bit too complicated, and they don't necessarily explain it as well as they could do.
Yeah. It's a massive thing. So
it is huge. Can you imagine how much product you've got to buy? So even then, but the good thing is about it is that you can still achieve something at the lower levels, which is what keeps you buying.
Right. Which makes a lot of sense.
It just I just find it wow, they're still talking, these people. So I'm just going to mute that entire
they're still talking at you?
Yeah, it's beeping in my ear every few seconds.
Oh no.
They can all cock off, quite frankly. Right, happy birthday achievements, and then you've got the base set parallels, the SP printing plates parallels.
Wow,
top 10 fights, heroes, issues, story arcs, and villains printing plate parallels. So they're not doing them for comic covers, and I think there's some of the other top 10 stuffs aren't there. But all of these printing plate parallels you see, you can only get through Pack Wars.
Wow.
And they're just randomly inserted. So one of those wins that we were playing, I could have got.
You could have gotten any of them.
Yeah. I did get a plate on a win the other day. Let me show you.
Did you?
I did. I did indeed. Ask me which plate I got.
Which plate did you get?
I can't remember. I'll have a look. I genuinely can't remember. It was something I wasn't massively enthralled with. I'll be honest with you. It was one of the top story arcs. It was Infinity Wars, which doesn't move my needle. It's the thing. This is why there's some elements of Marvel Annual that I just don't engage with me, because aside from a couple of series that I'd buy as legacy buys, like Amazing Spider-Man has been on my pull list for decades, as has Daredevil. That's pretty much it, apart from Spider-Gwen, maybe Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, and Powers and House of X at the moment, which I'll talk about in a minute. So you say to me Infinity Wars, plural, and I just glaze over because it's just another Marvel crossover event. It just doesn't.
That's fair.
It just doesn't do it for me anymore. Some of them do. Powers of X, House of X notwithstanding. But it's a pretty decent plate. What plate is that? It is the yellow printing plate from card TS7.
Wow.
Which is, doesn't tell me what issue it is. Top 10 story arcs. It's just an image of
one of the inserts there. That's pretty cool, though.
So, it's a plate. What are you going to do? But it's not a character thing. So, and I think those ones are quite common to see.
Yeah.
You can see them around now, even though they're still a one of one. So, gift horse and mouse, a mouth, etc. You can't look gift horse in the mouth.
No, I mean it's still really cool to get a plate. It's so random.
It's
so rare.
It is.
Anybody who's going for that is going to need that.
Yeah, you say that, but Black Cat is a short print character. And within days of Pack Wars going live, there were 2 on the trading marketplace. And so I messaged both the users. One of the users was already in group and agreed to sell me the plate.
Nice.
So there I got plate 1. Okay. And I think I'm not going to say how much I paid for each of them, but the range went from it was kind of around the 50 to 70 mark.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, which I think is fair for a plate. Yeah.
Considering, that's great stuff.
So, so I bought the first one. Then the second guy wasn't in group, but I messaged him, and I'm always super polite and just saying, look, if there's anything you need to trade, if not, more than happy to buy. The response was usually no idea how to value it. So I'd already done my homework and said, look, eBay is showing kind of between this range, asking prices on comps here around this range. It's not an exact science, so I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've no idea, but I'd be willing to pay up to this amount. And in pretty much all cases, most of them were like, look, I in fact, this guy actually said, I really respect your honesty. I know you've said you'll pay up to this amount, but I'm going to ask this much for it. So, and it was lower than I was saying I'd be willing to pay up to. And I was like, you know what? That's really nice. Thank you.
That is really nice.
So plate number 2 fell in. And so I had 2 of the 2 that had so far been pulled.
Wow.
And then I think about 3 days passed, and I just refreshed. I had one of my browser windows set to search in Trading Marketplace for Black Cat cards from this set, not specifically the plates. And the other 2 plates were up there. So I messaged both users, and within 24 hours, both of them, I'd done a deal and I'd purchased the other 2 plates. So I now own all 4 printing plates from Marvel Annual 2018-19 Black Cat SP 127.
And there it is. Rainbow, man.
Can you see my screen? So,
of such a good-looking card, Ian.
And it's a really nice card. They've chosen really nice art.
And each plate is totally clean.
It's
no
so
ink
clean,
splashes, no ink marks.
Isn't it beautiful?
Dude, you nailed that. Honestly, that is the coolest thing ever.
I've got another 4. I say another 4. I've got the Marvel Beginnings Black Cat base card from Series 2 from 2012.
So lucky.
So I've got all 4 of those. But I think I got those at a time when printing plates were kind of new and people weren't really going after them as much. So I managed to luck out on that one. And I've got a couple of Black Cat cards from the more recent sets where I've got maybe 2. In fact, I've got one set where I've got 3 of the 4 plates.
Yeah.
Marvel Vibranium is the one where I've got 3 of the 4.
Okay.
And so, I've gotten close. My kind of happy zone is either having 1 or 2. If I get 3, I get a bit, I really want the last one.
Yeah, you have to get the last one.
You know what? I'm happy with, if I'd got any of these, I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
But having all 4, just cherry on the cake.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
But I am broke because I just dropped best part of $250 across,
See.
So,
but for me, That's
but
worth
I've done it now. Yeah, I've done it now. So I will sell my sketches from Marvel Beginnings to make up for it. But anyway, that for me is kind of an aside, and I'll go for a few other bits of that.
I love it.
Of that pack or set, but it's fun. It's a nice little game you can play, and you actually get some cards off the back of it. So it's just nice and engaging. Hats off to you, Upper Deck, on that one. I think the set's a bit big. I think the achievements are a little bit confusing, but yeah,
very entertaining.
Hats off to them. So that was good. While you're still looking at my screen, then there was a couple of other things I was going to talk about
Show me
today, but I'm just going to go with a massive thank you and then answering a question that he posed. So, friend of the podcast, J Lynn Warner, good evening, sir, has very, 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 very kindly done something really, really amazing. And you have the card physically there, but you haven't opened it.
Yes.
So a couple of weeks ago, he messaged me, and I'm going to scroll up through my messenger feed so you can see what's going on here. These are some of the cards that he's been working on, but I'll keep scrolling. So I'll keep scrolling. And he messaged me and he said, okay, so this is back in August when I said, I'll let you know what episode we're going to drop your intro on, because he did an intro for the podcast, so thank you for that.
Right.
He messaged me this.
Whoa.
Okay, so what Norrin has just seen for the first time, because I've kept this under wraps.
What?
Is he sent me an image of a Marvel Premiere card work in progress. And it's clearly Black Cat, and it's clearly just pencils and inks at this stage. It's rather lovely. I'll just make that full screen here.
Holy crap.
That. Okay. And then, it's wonderful. So I gave it the heart eyes emoji. And I said, oh my goodness. And he replied, might have been working on a few APs. And then he sent me the image of the finished card.
Damn.
And let me just open this so you can see this. And this will be on the tasting notes. That's a pretty sweet Marvel Premiere. That's a
great Black Cat card, man.
I mean, Jalen's work
damn.
is good. He's the boy's getting good.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
So, I said thanks so much for sharing. Someone has superb taste.
Yeah, what else can you say?
Yeah, not a commission. I was like, oh, okay. It's yours if you want it.
What?
And I'm like, okay. He asked me another question that he's removed, but I answered that. And they said, thanks for your offer. How much are you asking? I'm pretty tight this month as it's the wife's birthday, and wives aren't cheap. And he's replied, you misunderstand. It's yours if you want it.
No way.
So he's gifted it to me for mentioning on the podcast, and I'm kind of like, dude, you're doing us a favor. So I'm kind of like, first of all, thank you, J Lynn, for doing this.
That is the nicest thing.
It is just stunning. He can't obviously do a surfer for you.
No, but come on.
Because it's fan characters. So
that's so kind though. I mean, what a gem.
It's lovely. So, and it's there with you. So now that you've seen that,
I'm such an idiot. I'm here like, wow, look how pretty the screen is, and the package is literally right in front of me.
Open it.
I'm doing it right now.
So you get to experience it in the flesh before, probably ages before I'll see it, because who knows?
The holding area.
Who knows? The holding area is getting full. You're gonna have to move into the garage at this rate. Do you have a garage?
No. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Huh? Do I have a garage? No. I'm in an apartment.
Oh, okay. Well, some apartment buildings have garage spaces that you can.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They do in the UK.
No, I'm not that fancy. No, I'm not that fancy. Okay, here's the unpacking.
And then he mailed it, and he wouldn't let me send him some dollars for the shipping, even.
What?
And I'm like,
people are so kind.
So I'm like, it's quite humbling and wonderful. So thank you, J Lynn, because I haven't seen anything Black Cat from Premiere pop up that I really wanted, that people weren't wanting like a lot of money,
millions of dollars for,
because they thought they could get it, or because it was actually genuinely the market price was sending it that way, i.e. Fred Ian's card that we mentioned, Black Cat. I think it went for just over 800.
Yeah.
But that one, that people bid to that. So, that was worth it for someone. So that's that, and I think that's a perfectly fair yardstick for a
course.
Freudian card.
Wow, and he sent it so nice. This guy, you guys need a commission from him. Not only did he send Ian this card, which
you've just opened,
is
so you're
insanely
gazing
beautiful.
Wow, look at that. That's nice. That's nice. What's he got it in? What's he put it in? Has he put it in a magnetic?
He did.
I haven't
What
got one
a
of those.
gem.
That'd be nice to physically have one of those. I've only ever seen them. A magnetic.
You don't have any?
No, I don't. I don't keep my collection in them, and you can't buy them in the UK without buying, like 100 of them.
You need to tell me these things. I'll send you 2 or 3, man, so you can have extra.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Isn't it nice? Wow.
Wow.
Thank
I'm
you.
not kidding.
Thank you.
This is actually the first Premier card I've held physically in hand too.
Well, feel free to sniff it, but it's.
I'm not smelling. It smells good. Smells. He must wear a nice cologne. He's very nice. Very nice.
I'm getting hints of aubergine.
Oh. No, it's Ian. Like seriously, it's one of the nicest.
That's
black
nice.
cats.
And so I've got a Marvel. I'm kind of at the point now with Black Cats where I went through my phase when I first started collecting Black Cat sketch cards, where I was spoilt for choice, like you were when Surfer was plentiful in the Fantastic Four Archive set.
Yep.
I had Black Cats coming out of my ears, quite literally at one point, with Spider-Man Archives, Dangerous Divas. Now I'm happy if I get 1, maybe 2 in any set.
Yeah.
Especially these premium sets. So I'm kind of done for Premiere on the Black Cat front. Thank you, J Lynn.
That is amazing.
Very kind of you. I've got. I'd like to get one from Marvel Annual, simply to go with that plate rainbow.
Of course.
And I've still got to get the Color Wheel Parallel, but I've got 2 of the 10 cards I need to combine for that. So, but those Black Cat SPs are pretty tough to find. I've found 2, and I've been really hustling to trade for them, and I've sent trade offers to people, and they're just icing me. They're not replying or they're declining. So, so that's going to be a long one, that is, and I'll keep going with it. But
Jalen knows what's up. I'm not even kidding, man.
But he asked us a very valid question, so I think this is a perfect. I said to Jalen that I would actually reply to him on text, because this episode won't drop for a few weeks. But he asked an interesting question, because Jalen's done a few Marvel sets now, but he's probably still getting into the rhythm of it. And a lot of artists who come into this might be experienced artists, just might not be knowing how best to do things, or where to place APs in order to sell them. So
yes.
So I figured we'd talk about it on the podcast.
Love to.
I'll send him, we can bat this around, and then I will give him a little write-up on what we kind of discussed and agreed, and then he'll obviously then hear the podcast. So here's a question for you guys. What, in your opinion, is the best way to sell these APs, for a nobody like me? And first of all, stop it. You're not a nobody.
Seriously, man. No. I'm not kidding. I've seen a lot of sketch cards, and the detail that he has just in Black Cat's hair and his highlighting is superb.
I mean, this notwithstanding, I would have, I mean, look, I'm just going to scroll down. He sent me a preview of a few others he was working on. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest and say this. And I'm going to be very real with this right now. A lot of times when I see female characters drawn, and this can be the episode of female characters because we had Bella do that intro. Very, very few artists, in my opinion, because I'm very picky, tend to not only mess up proportions, but personality and face. And for me, I like very particular artists in terms of who draws women in my collection.
Look at the cheekbones on that.
And he's awesome. Like proportion-wise, look-wise, personality-wise. Like he really is capturing the essence of these characters in their kind of like personality and looks that they're giving to the viewer. Like it's very, very clean. Very, very cool.
Isn't it nice?
Very,
and
very cool.
I don't know if that's finished, to be fair.
I think that has some texture to it too.
Yeah, it looks good. It's good.
It looks great.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's I'm going to really embarrass myself now because I don't always recognize really obvious characters because they do have different costume and looks throughout.
Yeah, of course.
The Marvel history. Who is that?
That's Dark Phoenix.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's dreadfully embarrassing because
no.
I looked at it, I thought Jean Grey, and I thought, no, hang on, it's not. Hang on a minute, it is. And then I was flipping backwards and forwards. Yeah, and I just replied, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Sometimes they do, Dark Phoenix has been done in different costumes and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure with the red and gold, that's Dark Phoenix for sure.
It's wonderful.
I'm pretty sure.
But
and I might be wrong. So
that might be for someone else, and it might not be approved yet. J Lynn said I could show the Black Cat, which is why I wanted to talk about it on this episode. So he basically asked through the Facebook pages, the eBay, comic conventions seem like a hard sell. I've never been to a non-sport cards con, but will attend one in a week.
Very cool.
Should I pimp them there? Well, the first question is absolutely yes, because if I was going to a con and I saw that Phoenix card, I'd
buy it.
Probably hand you a big wad of sweaty cash right there and then, because it's a lovely card. So yeah, absolutely yes. I mean, I'm not an artist and I don't go to as many cons. The interesting thing about a lot, and I don't know if this is true, so I'm going to make an assumption here. I think a lot of the newer artists that work on Upper Deck are working, and they engage with Upper Deck, and they may be engaged with collectors through the groups, those that have got a social media presence and have joined groups. Some might have an art page on Facebook and interact with people who are fans of theirs there, but on the wider spectrum, unless you're in a group or you're on a forum, other collectors may not see your work and your personality as much. And of course, if you're not in those groups on those forums, then you won't gain anything. So I guess the first question would be yes, through the Facebook pages. But I think what I'm leading up to saying is I'm not sure outside of conventions how much interaction these artists have with each other to give each other advice.
Yeah.
And to give each other support, and to say, okay, this is only my maybe second or third Upper Deck set, and this is how it's been going for me. Where you're on your sixth, how have you found? To have that kind of conversation. And I'm not saying that this is the case with J Lynn, but it just suddenly occurred to me as I read that question. I've never been to a non-sport cards con, but will attend one in a week. So yeah, absolutely go. And, they're not always, wouldn't it be terrible? It's like anyone's first time. You build it up to be something. First time, whatever it may be. There's obviously a connotation to me saying that, but that it might.
Yeah.
First time of everything could be really good, or it could be a little bit meh, because the con might not be a good one. But in any sense, it will give you an opportunity to talk to people, an opportunity to talk about your work. Definitely take them with you and show them, and have them sail there, and take photos and use those photos for your social media feed. A lot of the artists that I see on social media who attend cons do sketches throughout the day, but then they often take photos of, they often have someone with them who might video them doing the sketch and just post a little bit of that, or they might take a photo of the person that they had come up to their table and commission it with the sketch, and sometimes with them as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really interesting to do, and it just shows that engagement, shows you're open to be chatting to, and people see that, and
it makes you approachable. I mean,
you've got to be out there.
It makes you very, very approachable, and I think the best part for me. Okay, so from my experience, when I got APs, when I'm still into APs, but I don't do it very often as I much did before.
Yeah.
But now, what I do with APs, I went to Instagram, and what made me pull the trigger a lot of times with APs was that the artist was on there and they did progression videos, and I could see cards being built up from the pencil to the ink to the color, and that made me feel more comfortable. I saw them post them a lot, and I got a real sense of their style. Even if they weren't on cards, I saw their style either on blank comic books, right, which is another real option for you.
Yes.
People, for me at least, when I see an artist putting their work out there on Instagram, more often than not, and I'm constantly in that interaction mode, and I can just send them a message, that for me makes me feel more comfortable to approach them for an AP.
Yeah.
And also the group, right? The group itself. Trust me, there's so many people of collectors on the group. When things are low and no one's buying anything and nothing's come out in a while, I find myself looking at artists. I'm like, all right, I need a fix. Who can give me that sketch card? As ridiculous as that is, it's true. You know,
It's not ridiculous at all.
I know a lot of collectors who do that. And
Yeah.
for me, as someone someone who does art in terms of your APs and stuff like that, you're really looking for a few people who really like your style and who are
Mm,
going to want you consistently.
mm,
That's when you start feeling a little more comfortable and
yeah.
you start having people you can go to. In
Yeah.
terms of selling specific APs to, there are two methods, which is the Fred Ian way, uh, which is basically to announce what characters he's going to do and put them up on eBay and let people go on a bidding war for them,
Mm,
which is a good method. It stops that client, um, collector to artist kind of conversation sometimes, because when an artist is really busy, it's hard to manage all that,
yeah.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
The other method, though, is the one where you announce, I have a couple blanks. Here's my arena of work. Um, there's another artist who I think I'm going to hook you up with, J Lynn, who's a good friend of mine named Joey, who posted on the group recently. And I know him from Instagram, and he's kind of doing the same thing like you are. He's just started doing the sketch card stuff. He's very good, just like you. I
Yeah.
think you guys will have a lot to talk about in terms of like, how are you doing with all this? How are you feeling
Yeah.
about the cards,
Yeah.
and what are your different avenues? And he has a great Instagram page too. Um, and he's brand new to the group, and I think this would be a great space for you guys to kind of like get to know each other. And there's plenty of awesome artists in the group too.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if honestly, if you have questions, both collectors and artists are the ones to answer those
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
So feel free to please post anything to the group. We will always try to like talk to those and speak to those issues as much
Yeah.
as possible.
I
And you know
do.
what? In all seriousness, if you ever need us to vet anybody, you make certain friends in the group, and you're getting a bad vibe from someone or something like that, shoot someone a message.
Mm,
Let someone know what's going on.
mhm.
I think it's better because maybe things can be prevented, right? I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to run into those problems often, but
No, but it's like anything. There are people who, in every avenue, when they're buying something,
every collect,
especially
yeah,
remotely, be it artwork or be it something else, will maybe be a little bit tricksy to deal with. It could just be communication just doesn't work for whatever reason, or they're genuinely just being a bit of a PITA. So,
yup,
and that happens. Unfortunately, there are bad actors and bad apples in every bunch. They're
hmm,
few and far between, fortunately, in the hobby. And I'd like to think that we run a pretty clean ship.
yeah,
Um,
I hope so.
Certainly try to. That's the aim of it, is to try and sort of foster as safe a space as possible for collectors and the artists to kind of talk to each other and to hang out. Stuff does very occasionally go awry, but for the most part, you hear a lot about the ones that don't, but
Yeah,
they're very few and far
yeah,
between. You don't often hear about the stuff that runs absolutely swimmingly. So I had something a few weeks back which I thought was really encouraging, actually. um, there was a guy who's not um, professional artist, shall we say? So he's not yet selling work, but he was in the group and he posted a sketch that he'd done of a selfie that he'd done in the mirror, and he said, "Look, delete if not allowed. I
okay.
know it's not a Marvel card, but I've been having a really rough time lately. I just wanted to get some advice on whether this was any good, and I kind of find it quite therapeutic, and I can't remember the guy's
Oh
situation
yeah, I
fully."
remember.
And I saw it and I was like, you know what, you know, at the very least, we can help this guy out. So I didn't remove the post. I said, look, it's not a Marvel card, but we've got a lot of artists here, so yeah, let's let this one run. And I tagged a few of the artists that are friends of the podcast that we know are active in the group, and said, look, guys, I know you're all busy, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but if any of you got any advice for this fella,
That's awesome.
please. And pretty much all of them chimed in and said, to different degrees, about how their art had helped them. One in particular, Mike Seeley, who we had on the intro last week.
Yes. Yes.
Posted the most beautiful advice about how he'd been through a rough time and how he found that he focused on his art and it got this, and they gave real advice on what to study, what books to buy, to
Wow.
study anatomy, to study light, study all this sort of stuff. And I read it and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to pick up a pencil myself and give it a go.
Yeah, man.
There was 6 or 7 posts of advice that were just like, wow. And listen, I can I can barely draw a human face for my 4-year-old. So I think my sketch cards will be on the abstract spectrum. I think is the way that we're going for. But I thought it was great, and the fact that we can have that conversation in the group and people will be willing to do that with someone
That's
who's
nice.
not yet a professional artist. He's just trying something out. Imagine the kind of advice that you guys might be able to get pro to pro.
Wow.
So, I think that's an encouraging note to end the podcast on. On that last note,
I think so too.
just before we went on air, I was going through a portfolio here, and I found my 2 original pages of original comic art that feature Black Cat. One of which I'm going to sell from Ultimate Spider-Man issue 53. The other one is from the Black Cat miniseries in the 90s.
Right.
And I will keep that one because it's a Black Cat title and she's in it more than the other one. Yeah. However, in doing so, I found something and I just wanted to show you. Speaking of night artists, I'm a big fan of John McCrea. And this isn't Marvel. But I do, people think I'm anti-DC. I'm not anti-DC. It's just not my thing. Marvel, I have an emotional and lifelong attachment to. But there are some DC series that I've absolutely loved. One of them being Hitman, which is Garth Ennis.
Oh, yeah.
And John McCrea, which ran for about 60 issues. I think I'm probably about 5 issues short of the full run. And I loved it. I loved it. And at the Bristol Comic Con that I met Hui Trong about 6-7 years ago, and I bought one of these original art pieces, I met John McCrea.
Whoa!
loveliest guy. And it was only the second or third con I'd ever been to, and I've probably only been to maybe 2 since then because they're not as common in the UK as they are in the US. And he's I think he's an Irish fella. So it's a relatively local jaunt, assuming he still lives on this side of the pond. And he had prints available. And let me get this.
Oh, here, stop sharing your screen.
Yeah,
so
stop
I can
sharing
see it.
my screen. Yeah, hang on a minute. What's going on? How do I stop sharing my screen?
You got set at the top.
How do I operate this? Stop share. There we go. That'll be why that's not working. There we go.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Isn't that brilliant? And so, if I'd known he was there or been more on it as I am now, I would have got him to commission something in advance.
Wow, that's really cool.
But that is something he did as a print. So it's not an original piece of work, but he signed it for me.
Wow.
And I think
it's a really good print, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an awesome looking print.
And he's numbered it 1 of 10. And personalized.
That's an expensive print. That's a cool print.
But it is nice. It's really, really lovely. And I forgot I had that. So I probably will get that framed. That's beautiful. I'll take a photo of that and put it on the tasting notes.
Please do, man. That looks really cool.
Before we go, also, I wanted to shout out to everyone involved with the current Marvel House of X, Powers of X miniseries, which is actually, although it's 2 different titles and they're 6 issues in each, they are one story. Why they split them into 2 titles, I don't know. It is one story. And in the back of each issue, there is a reading order that tells you which issue you should read next, which usually runs House of X, Powers of X, House of X, Powers of X, and then it flips a couple. So, in the back of the issue, you've got that little thing there that tells you the reading order. It's absolutely astonishing. It's the best thing I've read in a long, long time. And it feels to me like they're putting a hard reset on the X-Men comics and going in a new direction with Jonathan Hickman leading it. And it's just the most beautifully, beautifully done story. So there's my comic recommendation of the week. And the last thing I will say is that Ghost Rider just relaunched. And you see sketch covers all the time.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, white ones. How about a completely black
I
cover?
just saw someone post that.
Look at that.
That's going to look so cool with white mark.
No, but that's the thing. I don't think it is designed to be a sketch cover. I think it's just a black cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you could do something on it, but I don't think it's done with the kind of paper that you would draw on. So it's fantastic. I haven't read it yet, but anyway, absolutely wonderful. Guys and girls, thank you for listening. And as ever, please leave us messages. Leave us comments on the posts. Leave us reviews on the page, especially through iTunes. If you're digging the podcast, if you like it, then we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, a workman is about to break through Norrin's and bust into his room. Have a week, fella. Thanks for listening, people. And you know what to
Happy
say.
collecting, everybody.
Oh, it's enjoy collecting. You'll get it right one of these days.
Okay,
Go collecting. That's a new one. Brilliant.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. You can subscribe via our home on anchor.fm/MCCP. Leave us a message via that link with questions, comments, or just to say hi, and we may even play on the show. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Our podcast is at the MCC Pod on Facebook and Twitter, and you can find links on our Facebook page to the two groups MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. On Instagram, find us at MMCollectors and at Sketch Card Hive. The great music we use is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists, and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.